Niall McGrath here for SevereMMA.com, alongside Mr. Scott Coker at Bellator 169, and obviously the joint card with Bama 27 takes place on Friday evening here in the 3 Arena in Dublin. First of all, Scott, welcome to Dublin. Great to have you here. You brought the weather with you. How are things?
Things are great. I mean, it's great to be back in Dublin. We're excited about the fights on Friday night, and I think we're going to see some real big scraps, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really, there's been a lot of promotion, obviously James and Anthony, but you know, Dublin is probably at the moment, you know, the MMA capital of Europe, in my opinion. You know, there's great hype obviously with Conor McGregor here. Other promotions haven't come back this year. The UFC didn't do a card down south here. Do you feel this is a real opportunity for Bellator to stake a claim in this market?
You know, I'll tell you, we know that there's a big fight fan base here. We also know there's great fighters here, and it just worked out perfect timing with David Green, and I know he's promoted a lot of fights up here, and he actually invited us, which was very, you know, fantastic on his part, and we said, you know, let's go do something in Dublin together, and I said, let's do it, and that's really, it was kind of organic like that, and but I think that, you know, really, I'm excited to see the fights, because at the end of the day, we're looking for the next guy and the next big star. And James is definitely somebody that we have a lot of hope in. But we also know there's a lot of talent. And working with Bama and, you know, sending fighters back and forth, that's something we're not opposed to.
Definitely. You look at the talent pool. Obviously, James is a guy that, you know, he's got a lot of push, weight behind him. He speaks his mind. Similar to Conor and the gym, he comes from a lot. You know, what is it for Bellator MMA about, you know, finding these stars? How are you going to really solidify getting these guys on board? Is it through free agency? Is it about, you know, building the young guys that you possibly have? Is it maybe going back to your Strikeforce days and promoting and establishing these stars? Obviously, you know, a lot of the guys that have gone to the UFC, you know, you originally picked them up in your Strikeforce days.
Yeah, I mean, if you when you look at a roster like we have, I walked into a roster that was decent, and how do you improve it? You improve it through free agency, but also you have to build it from the ground up. And really, that's really, I think, just as important, because, you know, Luke Rockhold, Daniel Cormier, Tyron Woodley, I mean, those guys all came from, you know, from having 0 fights in Strikeforce when we built them up to become, you know, I mean, obviously they're doing very well, and I'm extremely happy for them. But, you know, that's really what it takes. It takes, you know, are you a great star identifier and star builder? And that's really what I think we are. We've you know, brought in some great talent in the past and build them up to become megastars, and I think we're gonna find that, you know, that next star here, as well as different parts of the world, and we're gonna do our best to build them to a big star, and you know, and let them fight the best at that point.
Well, what sets you apart? It's you, really, I think, more than anything else. All the promoters, I think you're a guy, you know, you've had a mixed martial arts background. Is that maybe where you can identify these guys to bring them through?
You know, to be honest, there's about 3 of us that, you know, sit in a room and figure all that out and say, all right, who's the next guy? And I get a lot of help from different people, so it's just not me. I mean, we have a team of people that do this, and you know, but we have our fingers all over the world, man, and getting people saying, hey, I got this guy, send us the tape, send us his fights, check him out. Can he speak? Is he good looking, or is she good looking? You know, is she marketable? Is he marketable?
Well, that's obviously an important part as well, guys. You know, they have to be able to speak on camera.
I'll tell you, if you look at the beginning of Strikeforce, right? Frank Shamrock, Kung Lee, Gina Carano, Josh Thompson, and, you know, Gilbert Melendez, all guys and girls that were very, very marketable, very attractive, but, you know, could fight as well. So, you know, we're looking for the next star. There's a lot of great fighters out there. It's like, I look at it like, you know, like an actor. You could be a great actor, but if you can't be a box office superstar, you're a great actor. You know, that's what you are. We want the next big superstar, and we're going to do our best to find him and build him.
You know, we look at mixed martial arts, and for me, you know, there's not a lot of household names, bar maybe, you know, Conor McGregor at the moment. Do you feel as though there's maybe, on a general level, there's a bit of lack of interest in mixed martial arts worldwide?
Yeah, let me tell you, you know, when I sold Strikeforce to the UFC back in 11, I think it was 11, I felt a little lull. You know, even though, you know, you have all these great fights to put together at that time, I felt a little bit of a lull. I felt that, look, you need two brands to keep an industry healthy. You know, of course, yeah. I really believe that. And so, to me, it's like I felt a little bit of a lull. And I believe that now that Bellator is back, and you know, it's you know, has a company that really believes in MMA, and it's great programming. We have deals all around the world. We have some of the best fighters in the world now. I mean, look at some of our divisions. I mean, we got
welterweight division stands out.
I mean, that fight between Kreshkov and Lima, come on, Lima could fight anybody on the planet, you know. So could Koreshkov. These guys are beasts. And then you had Paul Daly in there. You got MVP in there. I mean, we got some great guys. And then Roy McDonald. And we got a 170-pounder, I think, that's better than any other league out there right now. So to me, it's like, you know, the commitment behind Viacom is to grow this to be, you know, the best that it can be. And that's really to be the #1 mixed martial arts league in the world.
We look at your expansion. You know, you've formed a partnership with David Green and Bama here. In relation to building further, you know, we're Rise and you've had different partners. Is there any plans in stone to really get associated with other European mixed martial arts promotions, or maybe even acquire them?
You know what? I think everything is on the table, and there's nothing that couldn't be talked about. But you know, we look at this opportunity as you know, something that David invited us in, and you know, after the event's over, we'll sit down, we'll talk, and see what worked, what didn't work. But I look forward to working with David for many years to come.
Scott, I want to get your thoughts on, you know, there's been an association set up, the Mixed Martial Arts Athletes Association. Former Bellator president Bjorn Rebney is one of the guys advising the board of fighters. Just your thoughts in general on this association. It's aimed towards UFC fighters.
Yeah, you know what? That's a tough one because to me it's kind of confusing. There's like, you know, the class action lawsuit, the Muhammad Ali Act, and there's like 3 or 4 different associations. I heard there's another one coming up in another 2 months. So listen, I wish them all good luck, you know, and you know, they're trying to make their business work. But at the end of the day, you know, I think it's gonna be a very tough road ahead for them.
Would Bellator welcome something like that? If, well, obviously not welcome. Would you know, negotiate with these guys if someone came along and tried to set up a fighters union for you know, Bellator associated fighters?
The thing is, you know, they're an association of fighters, right? So they're, you know, to me it's, you know, to me it's almost like, you know, we're a martial arts fight league, and you know, I'm not sure that it's even necessary. But you know, like I said, I wish them luck. I mean, this is an individual sport, and you know, these fighters are, you know, independent contractors, and I'm not sure that it's going to work.
A lot of the fighters, you know, criticised Bjorn, especially a lot of the Bellator guys when he was at the helm of the company. You know, I think, you know, we'd obviously the Eddie Alvarez situation, we'd Will Brooks. Just your thoughts on him being involved in it?
You know, I tell you, I've never even met the man, to be honest with you. You know, so I have no reference. I mean, you know, I've heard all the stuff the fighters have been saying, but you know, until I got to sit down and really get to know somebody, I'm going to reserve judgment on that.
That's fair enough, 100%. Just on the updates on the free agents, obviously there's a lot of guys. You know, we obviously Lorenz Larkin was mentioned in the press conference there. We've Joseph Duffy, a very big name in Ireland here that's going to test the free agency. Is there negotiations ongoing, or can you shed any light to any potential new signings?
I mean, Lorenz is you know, he is a free agent to the point where we can start talking to him. But there's other free agents, or the contract has expired, but we can't speak to them yet because they're under their exclusive negotiation period. So we're going to be respectful of their contracts. But once they become able, you know, once they become able to talk to us, you know, we're gonna talk to everybody. And
sorry, do you think there's a bigger incentive now with obviously, you know, the Reebok deal in the UFC with the top level fighters? They're going to be able to obviously get sponsors. How much of an incentive do you believe that is for the fighters at the moment?
I mean, if I was a free agent, I mean, if I was a fighter fighting, and I would go talk to Phil Davis. He could tell you how much he's making in sponsorship, or, you know, the guy's doing extremely well. So, you know, to me, it's something that I think it's a win for the fighter that they'll be able to go back and get their own sponsors and cut their own deals, and we're going to stay out of that business.
We look at Bellator and we look at the amount of mixed martial arts shows there is on worldwide at the moment, and you know, obviously with the tournament format, you changed that into, you know, just numbered events. Would you like to maybe slow it down in 2017 to maybe put more weight and promotion behind certain events?
Well, you know what? That's like saying, would you love more time? Yeah, of course I'd love more time. But listen, I think we're doing a good job and really building this brand. I mean, I think that 2.5 years ago when I came to Bellator, you know, it was something that I go, man, I got a lot of work to do here. And you know, the tournament format was great, but I felt like, you know, it was confusing to me. You know, like there's overlapping tournaments, and you know, and so to me, it's like, look, this is about, you know, creating big stars in this sport. And I think that I've done that before. We're using the same formula over here, and you know, I'm extremely happy where where we're at 2.5 years later, as well as Spike TV. You know, if you get a chance, talk to Kevin Kay. You know, they're excited about the future of Bellator and where it's heading, and now they can see light at the end of the tunnel.
I think one of the problems here, with, in relation to TV, there's been no deal for the card this weekend on terrestrial TV here in Ireland. Has that been a problem? Is that something you've obviously looked into doing, and maybe you've talked about coming back here in 2017, something you'll lay down foundations for?
Right. You know, the thing is, you know, and I'm not sure exactly the TV landscape here, but I know that Spike UK will air it, and I think it's being broadcast here as well, right? I mean, no. No, it's going to be the next day. Okay. So you're talking about live TV, yeah. Right? That's something that, I mean, eventually we'd like to, have these fights being aired live all over the world. So that's something we can work on next time.
What's the big differentiation? Obviously, you've mentioned, for a healthy workplace, you need 2 different promotions. What's your model different to obviously the world's leading promotion in the UFC?
Yeah, I think that it's. I think if you come look at our production of our show, like if you come to the London show and watch our O2 Arena show, come on. It's the best produced show in the planet. And so to me, that's really what it's about. It's about, hey, you're going to walk in there and you're going to be entertained from top to bottom and see some great fights. But, with the screens and the ramps and the fireworks, I mean, it's just a fantastic show.
I know Gina Carano was in Italy last week at your promotion. I know she's there for the kickboxing, effectively, to watch on. Is she here this weekend in Dublin?
You know what? I'm not sure yet. I know she's still in Europe, traveling around, having a look, and we'll try to get her.
She's attended a lot of your events. Is there any sort of interest or inkling you're going to maybe ask Gina to come back? There's been rumours over the last couple of years. Is there anything that you can tell us?
You know what? She's a movie star, man. Come on, she's a big movie star.
You have a very good relationship with her.
We're friends, and so I've known her for a long time. I mean. Feel like, I mean, it's been a while. So, I feel like we have such a great relationship. And whether she ever decides to fight or not, I think she's already proven herself. And she was the first female to fight in the state of California, the first female that we built to become a megastar that has crossed over to films now. So, she had a great hit with Deadpool. She's a kickboxer. I mean, she's doing well. And I'm happy for her because, fighting is just one part of their life, and then, eventually they have to move on and do other stuff. But whatever role Gina would want to have with us, we would love to have her.
I see a little glint in your eye there, Scott, that you'd love to have her back in a fighting capacity.
You know what, I tell you, right now, we have, like I said, a kickboxing, piece of Bellator now, and we had a great event in Italy. It was fantastic. I mean, it was just, they really love kickboxing over there, and we had Petrosian fighting, we had Kevin Ross fighting, Joe Schilling. It was a great event, and I can see, she really appreciates that too, because she loves Muay Thai and kickboxing. So, but at the end of the day, she's been a great ambassador for the sport, and she's had great success in the films. And I'm sure she's going to be extremely busy in the film world in 2017.
Definitely. 2017 obviously going to be a big year for you. We're expecting to see you back here in Dublin. Will that be with BAMO? Will you plan on doing a lone venture card here?
Yeah, I mean, that hasn't been decided yet. I mean, we came here, like I said, because David invited us here. But, we'll sit down after the fight and see if it worked, and it worked for everybody. Because, my relationship with David is we're good friends first. And if we can make a business deal that makes sense for everybody, then great. And, if not, we'll still be friends.
So is there any, out there plans for 2017 that you have in place that you can maybe tell us about, something you're going to do maybe a little bit different? Because we know you like to obviously differentiate yourself from the UFC and things like that.
Well, you know what? We're going to continue putting building blocks in this company and keep building a solid foundation. And that comes from the ground up, from a corporate level, but also from the fighter level, too. So we're going to keep looking for the top free agents out there and looking to negotiate with them. Instead of doing 5 events internationally this year, which our international series has been amazing. I mean, the Israel fight was unbelievable. The Italy fights have been unbelievable. And we know this one's going to be, just as good. But I think next year we're going to go do 8 or 9 international events. So we're going to grow this. Listen, Viacom is an international brand. I'm not sure if you know this, but they just launched a network in Hungary. They just launched a network in the Netherlands. It's called Spike Hungary, Spike Netherlands. They have Spike Australia. They have distribution points all over the world where, it's nice because when you're Bellator, you don't have to go look for a TV deal, right? The TV deal is already there. So to me, we're going to build this brand worldwide, and we're going to take it all over the world with Viacom.
Scott, it's been a real pleasure. I look forward to having you back. I'm looking forward to the card on Friday night. Do appreciate the time, my friend.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Scott, pleasure. Real pleasure. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.